Raindrops fall from heaven to a billowing clouds. She walked alone in haste, invisible amidst the crowd. Alone in a crowded room, table for two, party of one. Only herself to talk to, day ending had barely begun. Outside the clouds parted, not a soul around. Desperate and alone again, tears of angels fall to ground. In the midst of angels, music plays from her phone. Content and reassured, she is never alone. Life was never easy, a game of chess ended in a stalemate. She had lost her zest. Resilient and tenacious, she would soldier on. No time for self-pity, those days were long gone. Outside the clouds parted, not a soul around. Desperate and alone again, tears of angels fall to ground. In the midst of angels, music plays from her phone. Content and reassured, she is never alone. Outside the clouds parted, not a soul around. Desperate and alone again, tears of angels fall to ground. In the midst of angels, music plays from her phone. Content and reassured, she is never alone.
Hey, 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 everybody. It is Thursday. Yes, you're going to see my face tonight because I have a special guest that I brought on for tonight just for her. And we're still going to have a good time. We're going to have great conversations, and it's going to be a vibe on the Live with Vickey P show. So before I bring the guest on, let me send a shout out to my sponsors. My sponsors are A Level Up Management Company, A Level Up Promotions, Bussin' Unlimited, The Boss Chicks of Augusta, Joker's Comedy, On the Move, and Toast the Event Bar. And as you guys know, those are my sponsors. Without them, there's no Live with Vickey P. Now, here we go. Hi.
Hi, Vickey. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too. So I'm super excited for you to be on the Live with Vickey P show so we can get into your music, your poetry, just everything. So the first thing that we're going to do, I would like for you to introduce yourself.
Okay, my name's Annette Tarpley, and don't know how much you want to know about me. You just want me to introduce. I'm a poet. I'm a lyricist. Lately, last year been really concentrating on the music end of it. I'm also the founder of the Passion of Poetry, one of the largest poetry sites on Facebook, and I also do podcasts, so I interview people as well, poets and writers and so forth. So it's kind of weird to be on the other end of it. So
Right. I know that feeling. Right, right, right. So you got your hands in everywhere, just in a lot of different things.
yeah. And then I work full time too. So I'm a nurse practitioner by day. And
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. And you've worked in several different fields. The one that stood out most for me was pain management because I worked in the pain management for about 13 years. So
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
okay, we got something in common with that. But and so you've been writing since you was a little girl?
I've been writing since I was a little girl, kind of on and off, but it didn't really start writing prolifically until probably about 5 or 6 years ago. Um, I used to be where I could only write when something like something major happened, a death, a marriage, a graduation. I mean, something major had to happen, and then I went through my divorce and I wrote my "I'm Getting Divorced" ticked off poem, Broken Dreams, which everybody loved, and that's why I published my first book. But then I was told by the publisher I had to have more poems. So I don't know what happened. The beast was unleashed. And since then, I've just been writing prolifically. Um,
Wow.
yeah, that's all I do. I write. And it doesn't take very long for me to write, generally speaking. I'm a pretty quick writer. So,
Okay, so and you said that that kind of centered around when something tragic happened for you.
yeah,
Yeah. So like I did see where your dad he was killed in a airplane
crack. Hmm.
event,
Yeah.
and then things from that, and then you started like when you first wrote your poem, was it and this is what I asked a lot of artists, like I'm like, so when you first wrote your poem, how did that creative process take over you like that? Like, were you just sitting down in the shower, or I mean, what happened?
Well, the first one, although I wrote before that, but the first one that really I remember writing very vividly was when my dad and brother died in the plane crash, and it was the night before their funeral, and I was had a lot of angst, of course, and was mourning and wrote kind of a religious one, um, and I'm trying to remember the title, but I can't. But
Mhm.
it was kind of a religious thing, and that we'll see them again, that type of thing, and Jesus will come and slash death with his sword, kind of thing. And I didn't read it at the funeral. I had the pastor read it, but
Mhm.
then so it just flows. Whenever I finally do write, it usually flows. There's times where I might hesitate a little bit and think, oh, I'm just not really into finishing it tonight. And then I might come back to it in a couple of days. And then usually, ideas come back pretty quickly. But usually I do it in one sitting and it's very quick. I do a lot of parking lot poetry. So
Wow.
I'll pull over at Sheets and I'll be, writing a song
Wow.
or whatever. And yeah. And people come up to me all the time for money and stuff. And now I make them listen to either a poem or a song. So I make them work for a little bit.
That's a good idea right there. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So the song that I played, the intro song that I played to start the podcast, you wrote that song,
I
correct?
wrote the lyrics, and that one was actually not written too long ago. I wrote that maybe a couple 2 3 weeks ago, maybe at the most. I wrote that one pretty frequent recently, and that one came about by I wanted to write something about angels, and
Hmm.
I just came up with a title. Sometimes I just write off the title. People
Hmm.
can give me titles, and I write. I wrote one fairly recently that about an event that happened with Rico, and he talked somebody off the bridge, off of jumping off a bridge. And I don't know if you have that one, but that's a great one. It's called "Talk Me Off the Edge,"
Mm.
and so very powerful. song, and really speaks to mental health. It doesn't talk about anybody really jumping off the bridge or, suicide, so to speak, but it's kind of like I'm at my end kind of thing.
Right.
And I can't take it anymore, and kind of talk me off the edge. I think it says you're the only one around, that type of thing. And in it, she's talking about, tell me your importance, a new day will come type thing, and I did psychiatry for a while, so it was always very important for me to, let people know they have worth and value, and that things aren't the end of the world, and the next day will come, and things will get better. So yeah.
Well, so for the people that are just coming on, I'm going to play the intro song again because I want them to hear that song, because that is a nice song, because I was sitting here like literally listening to the words. And I was like, okay, I feel this. Okay. But
yeah, the last one I wrote actually was 2 nights ago. I had a friend whose father was in the hospital, and I told him when I left the hospital, I said, don't be surprised if I'm in the parking lot for an hour or two afterwards. Sometimes that happens. And he scared me to death. And he's a musician and a songwriter. And I mean, he's a musician. He plays a lot, but he spent 30 years in Nashville, and he comes out and he scared me to death. I said, get in here. We're going to write a song.
Wow.
He wrote a great song. It turned out very good. I love it.
What?
But
you are just gifted. Just gifted. That's all I can say. You gifted. Well, I'm going to play this
song with a voice, though.
I do not own the rights to this music, but she does. Here we go. And this is the song, you guys, that I played for the intro.
Raindrops fall from heaven, dew of billowing clouds. She walked alone in haste, invisible amidst the crowd. Alone in a crowded room, table for two, party of one. Only herself to talk to, day ending had barely begun. Outside the clouds parted, not a soul around. Desperate and alone again, tears of angels fall to ground. In the midst of angels, music plays from her phone. Content and reassured, she is never alone. Life was never easy, a game of chess ended in a stalemate. She had lost her zest. Resilient and tenacious, she would soldier on. No time for self-pity, those days were long gone. Outside the clouds parted, not a soul around. Desperate and alone again, tears of angels fall to ground. In the midst of angels, music plays from her phone. Content and reassured, she is never outside the clouds parted, not a soul around. Desperate and alone again, tears of angels fall to ground. In the midst of angels, music plays from her phone. Content and reassured, she is never
Wow.
there you go.
Wow.
Oh, it's starting again.
Say what now?
It's starting up again. Yeah. So Tears of Angels. That was a little bit about me. I don't always write about me, but that table for two. Wait, what was it? table for two, party of one, you know.
Table of two, party of one.
Party of one. Yeah. So
Yeah.
a couple of my friends are here. Well, hi to, is this a person you know?
Yes, that is Janice. She said hi everyone. So I'm gonna okay. You know Scott Smith, and that is awesome. Yes, she is, Scott. Yes, she
A friend of
is.
mine. And then Zan Johns is actually an exceptional poet. She's a Maya Angelou. She is, I can't tell you, Zan is going to be a household name. Good friend of mine, one of my admin for my sites and several of my events that I've done. Zan is, she got nominated for a Pushcart Award and a Pulitzer Prize. So
Wow, congratulations.
Jan is like amazing.
Congratulations. Yeah.
Christian, also a poet from a friend of mine, also one of my admin, and he is from Chile.
Oh,
So,
well, thank you guys for joining. And that is awesome. One question. Now, who was singing that song?
so for now, I put my stuff through AI. When I first started writing songs, I was using a vocalist I hired through Fiverr. And the songs were, and there's several videos that I made, so those are on YouTube, and they were good, but they weren't like exceptional, and I didn't really have control over it. Somebody introduced me to the AI part, so I use it as a tool in that I can kind of direct it where I foresee it, even though I can't create that music. I know where I want it to go. I know the vibe I want it to have. So I can control kind of where it's going, not take anything until I like where it's going. And then eventually, you know, I'd like to pitch it to someone for someone to sing in real life and do in a recording studio. So I use it as a means to kind of get my song there where I want it to be. And to have the control over where I want it to go too. So
Right. And that is definitely important to have it controlled by you where you want it to go. That is definitely important.
sometimes, you know, I might want it to be country because it's a story, or and they can put some feeling into it. That was a little. Sometimes I do a funk country because I like a little funk in it. I do R&B a lot. And I also do pop. So kind of those three genres are where I take it most of the time. Okay. And if I don't want horns or if I want something, you can put it in. So you have some control over it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're teaching me something with that. I had no idea that you could even do that, you know. But why would I know? I'm just the podcaster. I'm not the musician.
Oh, no.
but I am going to play another song. Here we go. I do not own the rights to this music, but she does, and we will talk about it when it finishes. Here we go, you guys.
This is the Rico one. Talk Me Off the Edge.
Today I've reached my limit.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Only so much I can take. People say they care. Sincere words are fake. I can't take anymore. My life has been a mess. Skeletons in my closet. Much I haven't confessed. Talk me off the edge. You're the only one around. Save me from myself. Hurry before I drown. Tell me life's worth living. I'm waiting in my seat. take my hand, walk my road for a mile, feel my hurt and pain, reasons I lack a smile, talk me off the edge, you're the only one around, save me from myself, hurry before I drown, tell me life's worth living, I'm waiting in my seat, you tell me I have purpose, rescue me now I plead, tell me life's worth living, I'm waiting in my seat, you tell me I have purpose, rescue me now I plead.
It is such a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that is such a beautiful song. And that is a song I'm sure everybody can relate to because at
Yeah.
some point in your life you may have not physically been on the ledge, but you've been on the ledge. That is amazing. And so that's a true story that you just told with this song.
Yeah, I tried to put myself in that girl's shoes that night that Rico came upon her, and I didn't, it was a very endearing story. I get chills to this day when I think about it because he got down on his hands and knees to talk to her and try not to intimidate her, to humble himself, and I want to talk to you like I would talk to my daughter, kind of thing. And it's just such a beautiful story, and it really affected me. All I could think about was what was she feeling, what was she feeling that made her go to that edge, and yeah. But
And
kudos to Rico.
yes, and what I'm thinking about if Rico wasn't there, if he wasn't there,
Yeah.
she went there to do that. So she more than likely would have done it. But Rico was there.
Divine intervention, right?
Yes, that's what I was getting ready to say. Divine intervention. And I
The
know
one that you played the first two times, the one about the tears from the angels or whatever. That's the one I played a week or so ago to the lady in the Sheetz parking lot that asked me to fill up her tank. I said, let me play something for you first. So I made her listen to it. And she's like, oh my gosh, there's a reason why we met tonight, that you don't know how much I need to hear that and how it's speaking to me. So, I hope that I can write some things that will inspire people or know that they're not alone, in feeling a certain way. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I am having a women empowerment in October, and I'm definitely gonna play both of those songs.
Well, I have one that's if this is a woman empowerment one. Oh my gosh. I have such a strong woman one. I don't know if you ever got sent it, but it's so funky. It's like a funky country, and it's like it is one of my favorite ones, but it's so strong.
Okay.
And
okay. Well, we'll get together on that one because I don't know whether I have that. I have 3. So I don't know whether I have that one or not. But and you said when you wrote that song, is this the song that you wrote about 3 weeks ago? This song or the first song?
The first song I wrote about 3 weeks ago. The other one, Talk Me Off the Edge, I probably wrote a couple months ago.
Ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, And like I said in the beginning, in your bio, you said that you noticed that you started to write when you was going through a traumatic experience. So again, the ledge, that's traumatic, so it's you're
Yeah.
still continuing to do that, and you might not even realize that you're continuing to do that, but you're still
Yeah.
doing that. Yeah, have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, to a certain extent, I do write from the emotions. But like I said, I can write if someone gives me a title,
Mhm.
and I write a lot of fiction too. So it's not. I wrote one called "The Ballad of Ned," and it's a beautiful piece. It's about bullying, and it's the music is totally different, but it is strong and it has a message. And it's almost kind of like you can see someone singing it from a stage, like it's a play. And someday I want to do that. I want to make it a book and a movie. I can just see it up there. But it's just very powerful song, and that was totally fictionalized. It was came from my imagination after seeing a picture of a man in a field with a kind of farmer with a hat on, and part of his face was obscured, and I wrote it from that.
Wow, you are so
Um,
talented and gifted. So I am going to play another song. I mean, because this music is awesome. So I'm gonna play another song. So here we go, you guys. Let's see, was that the one that
I think that was the
that's
end of one. End of one.
Raindrops fall from
So
heaven,
that is just a
full
different.
of billowing clouds. She
That's just
walked
rains
alone
drop from
in
heaven.
haste,
So that
invisible
is
amidst
the
the
first one we
crowd.
did.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
First one we did. Maybe that's a different version. I was trying to think of which one version we did before. So I'm not sure, but yeah, that's the same one we played a couple. So is that same one? Yeah, I think that's the same version we played earlier. So
Let
I
me
don't.
double
Does
check.
it have the names of them there for you? Does it have a names of the
It doesn't.
music?
On when I download it on StreamYard, it doesn't. It'll just like I put your name, but it won't show
Yeah.
the entire thing. So let me see.
Okay.
Now that's the first one I played.
Yeah, so there's 2 versions of those. So I think I sent him one and then sent the updated one. So you've got 2 versions of different ones. And I
Okay.
don't I don't I wish I had a way to share it on mine. I mean, also was a
You can play it.
boombox next.
I think we can hear it if you play it.
Yeah, I have a boombox next to me. Maybe we can use that.
Yeah, let's try it.
So, you know what? I think if you don't mind,
Mhm.
I would like to play the one I just wrote a couple nights ago with my
Oh,
friend Tori in the parking lot at the hospital.
yes,
So
let's do it.
this was co-written. The interesting thing about this is it's got 2 different versions, and it's hard for me to decide which one. But I'll play the first version. It's just a female one, but they did. There's also duets that I did, but this one is very interesting. And a lot of how I can navigate things with my music too when I put it into AI is through punctuation and different things I do. And this really took one of the words and the way I punctuated it and did something different with it. And you'll know what it is. And it's
Okay.
called. So my dad used to say when I was little, my dad who died, he always used to say, "You made my feel bad hurt." And
You
this
make
is you made my feel bad hurt. And so this is um you made my feel bad good. So
okay.
that's the name of this. You made my feel bad good. Um and let me see if it's still hooked up. Yeah. You can count the tears
down the line, leaving their trail time after time. What happened to the promises you made to me? Asking empty questions, dredging up memories. I finally have found myself in you. Will you be the one that's true? Would you make my feel bad good? Show me what is love, very understood. Will you make my feel bad good? Then let's let love be what it should. How can we wipe the slate clean when it's stained? Could a trillion tears cried cleanse like the rain? Too many foolish hearts are just chasing dreams, like promises in the dark that cascade into streams. Could you make my feel bad good? Show me what is love, very understood. Will you make my feel bad good? Then let's let love be what it should. I found myself in you. You will be the one that's
Wow.
Anyway, you made my feel bad.
Oh,
Good. So that was written with Tori Bailey.
That is amazing. Your music.
I have so many different things I write about, darling. I wrote one about domestic violence, really very R&B one that is strong. Of course, I always have to make her strong in the end because she overcomes it. But it's a great song, and I have one written about a narcissist. You tick me off, I can write a song. What'd you say?
Do you have that one beside you, the one about narcissists?
Yeah. So I had a friend who maybe he'll see this someday and know it's finally about him. I sent it to him, but he didn't have a clue. I since have blocked him because I had an event where I paid a lot of money to rent out my French Inn, invited guests, and at the last minute invited him because I had a spot. And the next day he spent 30 minutes telling me what was wrong with everybody there, that they had issues. And I said, well, we all have issues. And he said, no, not me. And I said, yeah, your issue is you find issue with everyone else. So I wrote this, and it's these are my pitch songs. I wonder if I put in my pitch songs, Dream Chaser, hands off, judgmental words. So it's called Judgmental Words.
Okay.
And it's a great song. It's got some good stuff in here. So this is to the narcissists in the world.
Okay. Like, I'm ready.
Judgmental words from mouths so spewed, critiquing others' points of view. Negativity breeds within one's soul. Emotion fed lies will take its toll. Can you not see turmoils of another? No empathy felt for sisters and brothers. We breathe the same air, share blood that's red. Tainted truths people are fed. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at their lives, their stories are told. Hungers of the needy, tales of the bold. Walk in the shoes of another for a mile. Importance of a touch, the gift of a smile. Can you not see turmoils of another? No empathy felt for sisters and brothers. We breathe the same air, share blood that's red. Tainted truths people are fed. Ooh, ooh.
So there you go. It's kind of repetitive and kind of goes.
Ooh, love it, love it, love it, love it, love
So
it, love it.
one of the people that commented just now is Martha Crawford. That is my friend who owns the beautiful bed and breakfast mansion in where all this occurs, and she's laughing because she knows exactly who I'm talking about. So
Inside joke. So she know, you know. So, oh my God. I mean, you're like literally your music could be a movie, like because you're telling stories, and those stories can be movies.
yeah,
Literally.
yeah, and I have, my daughter. Do you have? I saw somebody with your last name on here. Is that your daughter? Earlier that made a comment.
My sister, my
Your
sister,
sister. Okay.
my
Are you a mother?
I am a mother of 4 grown children.
Well, there's one I wrote, and really I write a lot more R&B kind of stuff. The ones I've been bringing lately, that one was R&B ish, but or popish. But I wrote this one called "Sweet Lullaby" that is about a mother and holding her baby, and every woman that hears it is just like, oh my god, such a great song. And then I wrote one because my daughter told me years ago, she was like, I wanted me to go somewhere. I was like, I'm busy, I got to work. And she was like, Mom, you're always busy. And I said, yes, you're right. And that's been my fault as a mother. So it's important for me not to be like my mother, which was an alcoholic, and like her mother, which is an alcoholic. So now you need to be the mother you thought I should have been.
Mm.
And that's what the song is about. It's about a letter. Her daughter finds a letter. She starts to read it. Of course, mom's gone. And then it talks about this. And
Wow.
it's a very touching story. The Sweet Lullaby is, No Hands of Love is the domestic violence one. I've got one I actually wrote about a friend of mine who found love finally, had a horrible childhood, and love led me to you. That one's done in a male voice. Huh?
Oh my
And
goodness.
And I got Rivers Will Run Red, which is a line my friend Tori, who we wrote the song together, gave me that hook line. And then 20 minutes later, I had Rivers Will Run Red. And it's a great song. Also, Time Ran Out. I got these. I'm looking at Where Does Love Live is not actually one that people pick out, but Where Does Love Live is one that once I did kind of early on, and my musician friend who's done it all of his life and traveled all over the world and says he's a music snob, was like, you got to do something with that song. He said, that is a hit. And he was like, he's obsessed with it. He says, it goes through my mind all the time. I know all the words. And he says, and I'm a music snob. I don't do that. But where does love live? It's kind of one of those I wrote after being a single woman, and like, where the heck is love? This is, it's something that eludes me, right?
Right.
And that's what it talks about. Where does love live?
Wow.
And it's got, I should play it for you because it's got this great line, and you'll know what it is when it comes up the lines. There's 2 lines back to back, and you'll go, oh, that was
That's
clever.
it. You can play
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Hey.
We got some time. So this is Where Does Love Live? And still probably one of my favorites.
I'm just
Where
excited.
does love live? Where does love live? Where does love live? It has long since gone. Deprived of human touch, no arms where I belong. No adoration whispered, no breath upon my neck. No royal flesh have I been dealt, just jokers in my deck. No ears that want to listen, no conversation ensues, no affections of love, feeling abused and misused. There will be no inquisitions, no proposals come my way. Faithfulness not involved, instead they tend to stray.
That's just a snippet of that. So that's Where Does Love Live? And
Oh my goodness.
it goes on to say, I deserve so much better to be the center of your world, So yeah, it goes through kind of those things that I've felt. But if you really want to hear a story, you should hear the Ballad of Ned, because it's a sweet. He was bullied. He had a deformity on his face, and it's got a little God component in it. But I can visualize it up on the big screen someday, and I've got the plot really thickened in my brain, and it's just this sweet story, and it's totally different than any of the other songs. It's the sound of it is like something that you'd see at the theater on a play. Somebody's up on stage and singing this song, and it's up to you whether or not this is your show, girlfriend.
Yes.
So
Let's play it.
yeah, I think the more they hear my songs, there's really a lot of diversity and a lot of in my songwriting. It's not kind of cookie cutter. But so this is the Ballad of Ned. First was a poem that I did, my signature poem. I called it for a long time. I rewrote it and made it into this, and it's beautifully done.
Lend me your ear, a story I have to tell. It's about a young boy who lived his own hell, born on an Iowa farm, in his mother's oak bed, with the deformity of the mouth, began the ballad of Ned. Off to school he would go, shy and insecure was he, ridiculed and scorned. To home he would flee. Mama would hold him, tears streaming down his face. You You are a child of God, protected by blood and grace. He was bullied each day, starting as he entered the school. The children would taunt and tease. He would remain calm and cool. Years would go by. Ned was smart, became bolder. No more tears shed onto his mother's loving shoulder. With a piece of chalk he wrote, God is love. I am love, and my love I give to you. Tear rushed down the teacher's face, falling down the cheeks of students too. From that day forward, no one mentioned the deformity on his head. Now you know the story, the ballad of sweet Ned.
Anyway, it goes
Oh,
and then it'll
yeah.
go through some more.
Yes, yes. I love your music. I absolutely love your music. I'm speechless because like you said, you have different variety of music. I mean, you
Yeah.
can like you say you can do the R&B, you can do the country.
Yeah. Well, somebody was trying to say, "Well, what genre are you?" And I said, "I'm sorry, I'm a writer, so I do not put myself into a genre. I'm at liberty to write whatever I want, you know,
Right.
and whatever genre or I want. And you know how songs are anyway. We cross over all the time, right?
All the time.
People, yeah, people take stuff and they do it, but I think that a lot of it, it comes from the heart. I mean, the Ballad of Ned is a story, so so I'm hopefully, when you're listening to it, you're envisioning it, and I love to do that, to paint the picture and the imagery and take people on the journey, and yeah, love to do that. But
You did that. You did. That's why my eyes was closed and I was like, okay. But I wanted to just grab Ned and hug Ned and tell
I
Ned
know.
it
No,
is
I
over.
don't. A lot of times when I introduce Ned, I'll say, I need to introduce you to Ned. You need to know Ned, because I was bullied as a child. So it's a very personal one for me, knowing that, and despite what Ned went through, he's just still loved.
Yeah,
That was his response. He just loved and gave people his love back, regardless of how they treated him. So,
right.
yeah, and I think that is the thing that's important. Kind of love kind of makes the world go around. That old saying. And I think that how do you kill kindness? I mean, what is it? What is that old saying? You kill things with kindness, right?
Kill
Somebody.
something with kindness.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody's mean and bad to you. Kill them with kindness, right?
Yeah, kill them with kindness. That's it.
Kill them with kindness. Yeah. So I think that's kind of my message that a lot of times that we're good to each other and we somehow I always like to leave it. Not everything's positive and right. There's some achy breaky kind of stuff too. Um, but the mother one, yeah, Sweet Lullaby is just this. It's a beautiful, beautiful one. And remember playing it to one of my patients in the nursing home. His wife was there, and she was like a musical director at a church, and she's like, "Oh my God, that song! Oh, that's the most beautiful song." She was just like, she started crying. She was like, "Oh, this is such a wonderful song." And it's like, you got to do something with that. I had a lot of people say that to me. You got to do something with that. And I'm trying to do something with that, but need artists to actually perform my stuff. I had somebody actually that was a contestant on The Voice, and wanted to do like a whole album of my stuff. She loved it, but I had to pay for her to use her real name, and she didn't want to do anything but studio time and take royalties, and she didn't want to do any videos or nothing else, just kind of it was narrow. So I told her we just can't do it.
Right. It has to make sense. You have to make it make sense.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be the voice behind it. People are gonna want to know the voice.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So who are some of the musicians that inspired you to sing?
To start writing, I really there's just so many different ones. I love a lot of R&B stuff. I mean, the oldies that we grew up with. I'm sure I'm probably older than you, but just a lot of the old stuff. I mean, I'm a Carole King person. I mean, this is gonna date me. I'm Carpenters. I'm James Taylor. And then I like the rock stuff too. But Stevie Wonder,
Yes.
love his stuff. And there's just so many people I can't even tell you. And today artists, I think it was criticized by somebody and I use AI, like I said, as a tool to direct it. If I ever put it out there, it's going to be, done by somebody who's going to be done in the studio. But there's an open mic, and my one friend Tori lets me play my stuff. And I went to another open mic, and the guy was just like, no, we only people who sing. And I didn't say anything to him. But my thing is this: when people sing, generally speaking, and I'm not talking about everyone that does music, but generally speaking, people are doing covers of other people's songs. So, they haven't created the words, and so I kind of, I think as a lyricist is an important part, just like, the music is important, so are the words. And so it's an important role that we play, and you can say so much through those words. And then when you get a production that can emote even more through, beautiful voice and inflections and all those things that we love about music,
Right.
It's, yeah. And like my friend Tori says, who's been a musician for years, people are using AI all the time. They use it in the studio. They do electronic this and they use that, and they use, mixers and different stuff. So people really are using it all the time, but they're not kind of calling it for what it is sometimes.
Right.
So it's really out there, and it's part of what we do, and it's part of, I think, what makes things more. It's embarrassing though when people will say, "Well, who's singing that?" It's like, I don't know. It's like a machine, so it's kind of like. But the machine does better than the person that I spent $400 to do a song for. And in 20 seconds you have something. It's amazing.
Yeah, that is.
But sometimes you have to put it through. I have to put it through several times at different angles to get what I want. So not every piece that they pull through is it. That one I played you that Tori and I wrote, that's the first cut. We put that through, and that was the first cut. And I remember watching him as he's listening to it, and Tori will close his eyes because he just wants to concentrate on the words. And just watching him doing that, and I was wanting him to open his eyes so I could look at him, because I was like so excited, because I was going, I was making all these expressions like, oh, that was good, kind of thing. And he was just like,
you didn't know what to think, did you?
yeah. But then occasionally when he had his eyes closed, I could see him kind of grin and go, and then he kind of do this, smile and nod. So then I knew, okay, he likes it. And she said, and the machine is on tune. Melissa said that.
It is.
Yeah. I did not know until recently. Somebody told me, I won't say who she is, but she's a very famous singer. We'll just say she's in the country genre. And apparently they altered her voice all the time. She didn't sing very well. So they were mixing and doing things with their voice all the time. She was more of a sex symbol than she was the
a
voice.
singer. Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. I can believe that now, especially now. Auto tunes, they do all of that stuff now. So yeah, I definitely believe it. But then when they perform, you know, they're singing over the track, like, so
Right. What was it? Was it Milli Vanilli? What was the
oh
deal about
yes.
Milli Vanilli? What did they not sing it all? They just were their pretty voice and they didn't sing it all. Was
They
that
didn't
it?
sing at all, and then found out that they were not singing. They literally was like, I think, yeah, lip syncing and dancing pretty much. And once everybody found out, then they fell off. You didn't hear anything from them no more. But for a while, that's what they were doing.
They for a while they were the deal, right?
They, right, but now that's what a lot of people is doing. They're doing what they
They do
did.
that a lot, but they do that a lot. They lip sync a lot. That's not something new, you know.
Right, that's it's not. So if people, how can, like, is there a way for them to download this particular music that you
Um, Not yet. I think I need to talk to some people about that because I mean, technically, I can take the AI ones and I can upload them somewhere. I mean, I own the rights to them, so I can upload those somewhere, and they are done very well. But my ultimate goal is to get real artists to do it. But my sites are set big because a lot of these songs are done. You know what I mean? So well that it's going to take a stellar vocalist to do it. So
Mhm.
my thoughts go to the big names all the time,
Right,
because I'm
right.
thinking I'm
Why
going to have to
not?
get somebody.
That's right. Why not?
And I can see, Teddy Swims. I want him to sing one of my songs one of these days,
Put it in
just
the
in case.
atmosphere. Why
I put,
not?
putting it out there, Teddy Swims, and I think he's gonna do it. I can see him singing a few of them, and you know, I'm just trying to see if there's one more I could share with you that's some kind of impactful. Oh, so one day I just saw this one. So one day I was getting my nails and my toenails done. I hadn't had them done forever,
Hmm.
and the guy's working on me, and his name is T-Bone, T-Bone, and so I told him, I says, I'm writing this song about this, and he was like, and I said, I'm going to actually put your name in it. And I should just play you a snippet of it because it's funny how I took something fun and it actually turned out pretty good.
Okay.
It tells you the experience. And it's called, I don't even know what it's called. I just kept it the luxury nails. But I'll just play a snippet till it gets to the T-bone part.
They took me right in and we have a seat for you. Pick out your nail color, red, pink, purple, or blue. My socks now off, feet in a fragrant soul. Back massage, working, glass of wine and coke. His name is T-Bone, he said no worries. Savoring spa treatment, I was in no hurry. Toenails neglected, they took a lot of work. Working on calluses, it tickled that jerk. Massage
So I love that. Working on calluses that tickled I jerk. I love
And the
it.
toenails, it took a lot of work.
Yeah, it did. It had been done for a long time. And poor T-Bone had his whole
Work
thing,
cut out
right?
for him.
Poor T-Bone probably looked at me like, ah. But I tell you, I play that to him every time I go in there. He just lights up when his name comes up. He's just like, oh, listen to this. It's my
That's
name in
me.
it.
That's me.
Yeah,
That's me.
yeah,
That's me.
that's you. But
Yes, it
yeah, you're the same way. I told you earlier there's this one about domestic violence.
is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is do you want me to play a snippet of that? That one's not
I
very
do.
long.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And this one and you'll love the music. It's very R&B-ish, and it's very well done.
No hands of love leave their touch, their tenderness I miss so much. Now fist of weapons, damage they inflict, vicious words from your mouth you spit. My body a canvas of blues and black. I beg you to leave, but you come back. The pain is deeper than the marks you leave, an open canvas for all to see. I'm leaving you when the night is still, a broken spirit but an intact will. I have regained power, I'm in control now, no longer the punching bag inside out. You do not own me, I am not your slave. I'm still intact, it is me I'll say. My body canvas of blues and black. I beg you to leave, but you come back, for you come back. The pain is deeper, nerve the moment you leave, an open canvas for all to see. I'm leaving you.
So, No Hands of Love. I think it's a powerful one. I love that one.
Oh, yes. It's an open canvas, blue and black.
Yeah, Open Canvas. Yeah, blues and blacks. Yeah,
Blues and blacks.
I
Um,
think.
and, and when she said that she's leaving and she's got a power back,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I feel that. I love that. You your songs are amazing. They they truly are. You need to listen. You need to get on more podcasts, music podcasts. I have my sister send Rico some names of some more podcasts, but your skills are amazing. Your writing skills are amazing. And seriously, and just keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing because you absolutely love it. It's
yeah,
it's it's fun when you do what you love. And for somebody
yeah.
that can only take 15, 20 minutes to come up with a song, if you give them a title, or that's amazing.
Well, I
It's
think
not.
that why I've really been directing the last several months into this is because for the last 5 years I've asked hundreds of people, "Do you like poetry?" No, not really. Most of them say probably 80%. And I said, "Yes, you do because you like songs and you like music, and that is poetry to music, you
Yes.
know." And
Yes.
so it's kind of my way to get poetry there, and I'm knowing that it's still all poetry because it's poetry, and
Mhm.
but I can put music to it and get out there. Now if you look my name up on YouTube, you'll see several of my poems that were done by Alan Johnson, a great friend of mine who has since passed, from the UK. Had this marvelous voice, and so he was a musician. He would compose the music, he'd narrate in his wonderful voice, and put the video together. So he'd make these wonderful productions to really be more touching with the poetry recitations. And but you know, still getting people to watch things is sometimes difficult. And
Oh, yeah. You just have to stay in their face. That's what I tell people. Like, you know, I was not a social media person at all before I started podcasting. I was like, I am not going to be on social media. And my team was like, you don't have a choice. You have to stay in their face. And so I stay in their face. But I noticed with my interviews, just say when I get up in the morning and if I look at the interview that I did the night before, the numbers are way higher because people go
good.
back. They go back and they look at it and they look at it, and somebody else may
Yeah.
look at it next week. So
And
I don't look at it.
if they would share it, right? If everybody would share, that'd be great.
Now that part I
Oh,
think is the hardest part, the sharing.
yeah.
But once you get to a certain level on Facebook, like you have a wide spread to where your content reaches. It does help for people to share. But I kind of like right now, I'm like, you know what? It and it before you know it, your songwriting, your poetry, it will get out there. I'm serious. You just have to stay consistent. I tell anybody, it was so many times I was like, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. But I stayed consistent and persistent. And I could tell the difference, like when I started 4 years ago versus now, And I mean, your songwriting is amazing. And I'm sure you write for other people, or will you write for other artists if they reach out to you?
Of course,
Yes,
yeah. I mean,
yes.
me writing for other people is similar to, and I ask you to give me a title, and I write. I'm basically writing what you told me, whatever it is. Um, um, Rico's calling me for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know. He probably we're still on, but
Rich,
that like I see that a lot because let me tell you something. The genre of Southern soul, it is so many good artists on here. Like I have one, her name, well, not I have one, but her name is Cecily Wilborn. And the music that you just wrote, that is her type of music. You go and listen to her. Her name is Cecily Wilburn. And just listen, Cecily Wilborn, and listen to her voice. You will definitely be able to relate her voice with your lyrics. I'm hands down. I'm serious. I
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
This is showing you a little bit of it, but there's the versatility I have in a lot of my songs, and there's one called "Can I Kiss You," and that's this really upbeat, R&B-ish, popish kind of thing. And so there's just so I think so much of a diversity in it that that's what I love about it is that I can do that, and
Yes.
you know, whatever it may be. But I'll have to send you the mother one later, and you'll have to listen to it. And
Okay.
I think you'll like
Okay.
that. But it's been truly a blessing to be on your show, Vicky. It really is,
Yeah.
and I really thank you for not only having me on and letting me share my music, but appreciating it means even more than anything. That you
Oh,
appreciate it. So
yes.
yeah.
And anytime you want to come back, Rico, know my sister's number, my manager, which she's my manager. We got you because it's amazing. I absolutely love those songs. I'm serious. So, but we're here. We're going to support you, whatever we need to do. We got you. We got you. We're locked in now.
Yes.
and we're locked in now. And I'll send Rico or my sister will send him some other podcasts because there are other podcasts just like this, just for you to get on and play the music that you already wrote, so they can hear this. Because artists, I'm telling you, they're looking. So imagine if they're looking on this podcast and this one, and they need new music. Come on now, that's what. Come on. But
Yeah.
anyway, thank you
Mhm.
so much for
Thank
coming on live with Vicky P. I really, really, really
you.
enjoyed you, and hopefully you'll be back soon.
Well, love and blessings to you and to everyone else. Thank you so much, Vicky, again. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good night. Her music is her I mean, it's amazing, you guys. It is absolutely amazing. So you know her name, Annette Tarpley. Go and follow her on social media. Share, friend her, comment, support her, do it all, because it is very important for people to support people. I don't know why people don't, why some people don't. But if we get out of that, not supporting, I'm telling you, the sky's the limit. So let's support, 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 you guys. Now, it is ending the Live with Vickey P show. This is a Thursday. You guys know that this is different for me, but I thank you guys for tuning in tonight as I interview the wonderful Annette Tarpley. So you guys go and follow her, share her content. Just help get her out there, you guys. And thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next Tuesday. And like I always say, it is always a vibe on the Live with Vickey P show. Good night.